Hello and welcome to Spooning with me, Mark Wogan. Each week I am joined by a very special guest and I will be challenging the food that they think they love and the food that they think they hate. This week we are at a really rather lovely restaurant in London's city, the City of London. And where are we? We're at Home Slice. It's great. I'm going to say that because I own it. But who is my incredible guest today? Well, this person... They are a slightly larger than life personality, I think it would be fair to say, but they've recently been on a voyage of discovery, but on the way through they've scored 42 goals, played for endless Premiership teams, and they've even been in the jungle. But he's here to talk about his new book. Will you please welcome Razor Ruddock, or as we like to call him now, Neil.
Hello, mate.
How are you?
It's a lovely place, this. Smells lovely.
Yeah, it's good. Well, we do pizza here.
You do pizza?
Yeah.
I like pizza.
Yeah, no, I can sort you out with some of that, but you've got a couple of other things you've got to eat first.
And do I have to, I don't know what they are. I don't know what's coming.
No.
Those I have to guess.
You know, you filled out your questionnaire before you came on, so they will be vaguely related to that. I think what we'll do is we'll kick off with a little beverage for you, because I like to make sure people... So there's a glass with some ice there.
Yes.
And a Dr. Pepper.
Wow.
Tell us that, because that's a real childhood thing for you, the Dr. Pepper.
When I was a kid, I was playing football. I was playing for a team called St. Thomas More Sunday team, and we went to the Dallas Cup in Dallas, obviously, Texas. And we went there, and we stayed in like the other team's mum and dad's house. We went to their house. My dad stayed in a hotel with the other dads and all the kids. We stayed in their people's houses, and I had a Dr. Pepper for the first time when I was 14.
Revolutionary for your
Revolution, and even now, it's at home now. Got a fridge full at home. And
the other very American drink you hated, which was root beer.
Oh, tastes like hospital floors.
Yes,
Not that I've tasted an hospital floor.
You've been licking a lot.
You know the smell.
I mean, hold on. In your time, have you ended up on a hospital
I have been there a few too many. But it just reminds me of hospital.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I know what you mean, but I do actually quite like it.
It's like antiseptic. It's like
It's got a bit-
it's
a bit. Is it like Benylin medicine?
It's a cream or something they used to. But
Oh yes, yeah.
the pink. It was a pinky cream.
It was like TCP.
Oh, it reminds me of that. But I mean, this. Can I open it?
Yeah, it is yours.
Thank you
And
very much indeed.
I have 6 more of those for you to take home.
Oh, I'll be having them. I've got loads at home. But
I mean, I like a Dr. Pepper, but I'm more of a
And
straight
do you know what
Coca-Cola.
flavour it is? I didn't realise. It's a fruit.
Is it?
It's a mixed fruit.
Hold on, let's look at the ingredients.
Oh, it's got licorice in it. I've studied it.
Carbonate, sugar, including caffeine. It just says flavours.
It's got licorice in it. I've studied it.
Yeah.
It's got all sorts of it. That's
Oh,
beautiful.
do you know what it is? It contains a source of phenylethylamide,
Does it all right?
which is one of nature's aphrodisiacs. Jeez, did you know that?
I do. That's why.
It's present in things like oysters and chocolate. It's very big in chocolate, phenylethylamide.
I love them all.
Yeah. Well,
Mrs. Ruddock don't like me having them all, but I do.
So, look, this book.
Yes.
I mean, talk to me about the title. You're definitely making a statement with the title. Toxic.
Yeah. Well, it is. It was toxic. Is not in as in the poison. So toxic was the sort of the way of life I was living, especially after football. When you finish football, discipline goes. You've got no one telling you where to be, what time, what to wear, and it just become toxic with drinking, eating and drinking, basically.
So was that a term you used to describe yourself, or someone that others used to?
No, I've been.
Neil's got toxic.
Toxic. No, toxic was the way of living. It was just toxic to me, and I was poisoning myself with the amount of alcohol I was putting into my system. But it was just a toxic lifestyle.
Yeah, but I mean, you had a really solid football.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you started at Millwall.
Yep.
In what year was that? That
It
was
was early
81.
81.
81 at Millwall.
Yeah.
Then Southampton.
Yes.
Then to...
No, Millwall, Tottenham, back to Millwall, and then Southampton.
Oh, I see.
Oh yes. Really.
Of all the clubs you were at,
Yeah.
what felt like home for you? Because you're a South London boy.
Yeah,
born.
I was a Millwall fan as a kid, so to play for Millwall at the start. But I think Liverpool. I was there 6 years, you know, and I loved all the teams I played for. But Liverpool, and you know, the Scouse people, they get a bad rap sometimes. They are lovely, lovely, lovely people, and You know, that's
When-
I
I
class
mean-
my second home.
Well, I mean, you see, the thing is, it's like that's something you share with
Yeah.
Liverpudlians, because how you present it, and this is what you cover quite rigorously and honestly in the book, is how you presented and who you were kind of two different things. It's like you got, bizarrely, as a result of a boxing match, you got your nickname.
Razor
Because
Ruddock,
was it Lennox Lewis?
Oh, it was Frank Bruno.
Frank Bruno.
Joe Bugner at White Hart Lane, 87.
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur. And Razor Ruddock, the Canadian boxer, Donovan Razor Ruddock.
Yep.
He was there, and that was out. So I nicked his nickname.
And did you feel you had to live up to that?
Oh yeah, you know, everyone wanted to be, you know, Razor. The way I played football, you know, was very abrupt and very commanding, and you know, I was always been a man's man, and you know, people didn't want to meet me, or they expected Razor, the way I played football, to be the person you see in the pub or wherever you met.
But was it a construct then?
Well, at the time, he was just, you know, a young lad. Experience is wasting on old people. At the time, I loved living the life as Razor, the life as soul of the party. Everybody
So did
wanted
enjoy
to
it?
Oh, it was great.
Wasn't this kind of like,
no,
you know, oh my God, I've got to be...
Yeah, no, not until, you know, you finish football. It nearly killed me with the alcohol and the drinking and the food. You know, not till that nearly killed me that, you know, I realised I was just like, this ain't the way to live. And But now, you know, now I can be bored in front of people. It doesn't bother me anymore.
But that thing of that thing of living up to expectation. I mean, Richard Shepherd, who was the great chef, and he had Langens.
Yep.
And he would always tell a story about Peter Langen, who was the famous restaurateur. But Peter Langen was famous for being blind drunk in his own restaurants the whole time and behaving badly. And people sort of went to the restaurant to see that.
Yeah.
And he remembers travelling to the restaurant, the service one evening, with Peter in a cab, and having a perfectly lucid conversation with him. And he went, "All right, boy, showtime." And he's got out the cab and fell onto the floor, and all the paparazzi took the picture.
Yeah.
So was there an element of that going on for you?
No, it wasn't.
Or did you actually just genuinely live the
Yeah, I
life?
loved it. It wasn't like Oasis walking out, you know, of a pub, or, you know, sticking the fingers up like Liam Gallagher sort of. No, it was just when I walked in, so it was the life and soul, the loudest, you know, the biggest drink. I could always drink more than anyone anyway, so I didn't have to try that. It was just a process. It was just got myself in a routine of doing it, and didn't really know I was doing it until it took over my life.
But you did occasionally upset managers, because you would lead from the front, and all the young players go, "Oh, well, Neil made me do it."
Yeah, a bit of a Pied Piper. It was a well-known thing. It was always my fault. You know, if they was home late, there was some nights lads would get home late and say, "Well, know what Razor's like," and their wife would ring mum over. So we didn't even go out. So they're blaming me when I wasn't even there. Do you know what I mean?
You were the excuse.
I was the excuse. But yeah, I mean, I was living a life. It was great. You know, playing from one of the greatest football teams in the world, and it was great.
Because that was 93. 93 you joined Liverpool, and that was your biggest transfer fee of your career. Was that $2.5 million?
Dearest defender in the world at the time.
I know.
Unbelievable.
But now that seems like
Yeah, it would
peanuts.
Well, if I was now, I'd be on like 400 grand a week. Wouldn't be saying, would I?
No.
It would be.
We're just
Chopstick
saying
wouldn't be out, would it?
You wouldn't have to write a book.
That'd be proper.
And then, is it right you finished your career at West Ham?
Well, Crystal Palace and Swindon for brief spells in the year, but you know, West Ham was sort of a big team, and I was on the way down there.
And when did you notice, as an athlete, that you were nearing the end? Because you hear those stories.
Yeah. When I left Liverpool, you know, I was coming to the end. I knew I'd done sign for West Ham for 2 years, but you know, I knew I was drinking too much, secret drinking. You know, I didn't want to be a footballer anymore, but you know, I had to be to pay the bills. And
so, had you grown sick of the game?
Yeah.
Or the routine?
I think the routine. When you get to a certain age, you weren't as good as Damon said. You weren't as good as you was, and you know, you start feeling everything hurts, and you're getting tired, and you're sleeping a lot more, and training becomes, you know, I used to love going to work, and then it becomes training. Once it becomes training, and you know, it's hard work, and I think it's time.
Because you hear stories about particularly high-level footballers doing a lot of damage to their kidneys because they're swallowing analgesics and you know, ibuprofen just to get out,
Just get
even
out.
on the
Well,
train.
I used to have injections. I mean, knees. I've got arthritis in both knees now. You know, and what they used to put in their knees, painkillers really.
Yeah.
Just to get through it. So you don't know what they was putting in. You know, but 1993. It's so crazy. Football has changed. In 1993, Liverpool, the most successful club side in the world, we didn't have a physiotherapist. What? In 1993. It was like 6 months into that we got a physio. Didn't have a physio.
What I loved about the book is it's a really honest tone. You know, you have.
Well, so when you get experience, you don't get. I think when you're older, you don't get embarrassed about owning up to things. You know,
you care less.
Yeah, you care less what people think. When I was playing, you know, if I said I had problems, they'd have said grow a pair and go, but give me a kick up the backside. But you wouldn't have owned up anyway because you haven't been a sign of weakness.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the interesting things, and I think for men of our generation, what perpetuates the issues is that kind of toxic masculinity to a degree. Like you grew up in an environment where you didn't complain, you didn't moan about anything, you just got on with it, which is good in one respect because it means you keep moving forward at some level. But then when stuff gets difficult, like for example, you finish playing football, you're left going, well, I've been that for however many years. How do I slot that into this life? And I think that's from judging. Well, the book, that's where you struggle
with the discipline. The discipline. I couldn't wait to finish football, so I had no one getting told what to do. But the problem was I went to an all-boys school, finished, you know, left school at 15, 16, went into football. I was with men till I was 35. Couldn't wait to retire. After 2 weeks, sat at home on your backside with no
you
mates
were
and
quite
men.
a few women, but they kind of wore them out.
You know what I mean? But you know, men sort of always been going to work with men.
Yeah.
So after 2 weeks, I thought, wow, it's boring on my own. Where can I find men? The pub. Just go down the pub and I remember I had my routine like Monday, that pub's going to be full. Tuesday, that pub's. This is during the day, lunchtimes.
Yeah.
You know, so I just knew where everyone's going to be.
I mean, I stopped drinking for nearly 32 years ago.
Brilliant.
Right? And I have met a lot of footballers who have been in a position where without the discipline of a team and what's in quiet, they lose track, and you know, and they've got to fill the void with something, and unfortunately it's pints and
I think the stats is it's overwhelmingly bad for ex-footballers. Like how many footballers get deported within 5 years? How many footballers end up in prison?
footballers who are Catholic as well.
Right.
I mean, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of Catholics who are alcoholics.
The average is like, you know, it's not right because the discipline goes. I think you turn in, because since you were like 16, you know, 18-year-old and all that, when you start drinking and you miss out on that. And I think when you're 35, you retire, you turn into an 18-year-old kid again, and then you can live your life.
But you find that when most people get sober or they make that life change, what they realise is they've been avoiding growing up.
Yeah.
Really. It's like they can't really handle the rigours of normal life.
It's even like going to get a doctor. I didn't know how to get a doctor. I had to go and enrol. But what do you mean? Because football clubs have got doctors. Yeah. You know, to walk in the front of an airport. What do you mean? I have to queue up with people? I mean, because you just get treated like a god everywhere. Even when you took your, you know, when you fly away in Europe, you go around the back of the airport on the team bus, whatever. But even when you're going away with your wife and kids, say you're going to Disney World or whatever, you know, they'd book it and they'd come and collect you at the airport and they'd take you through round the back and get you in. So, see things, it's a jungle right here, you know.
No, I mean, you know, the realities
it's
of life.
Unbelievable.
Shouldn't have to do that.
Stupid. I've got 42 goals.
Yes, I've got 42 goals. I shouldn't have to chew. How terribly gauche. So, football finishes. Pub life starts.
Yes.
But then also, because of you were a very noticeable player. So, you know, you had a kind of career as a celebrity.
Well, I think the name, you know, the nickname Razor, you only have to say Razor, people know. Like Vinny, Gaza, you know, so people know who you're talking about.
So you never think about the acting route?
Well, I try, you know, I was offered loads and loads of films, but then another thing come through, and been waiting for this is my big break.
Is it?
Doing this is
well,
my
we'll
big
see
break.
what we're going to do. I mean, if it leads anywhere for either of us, we'll laugh.
It'd be great, man.
But you season 3 of I'm a Celebrity.
The jungle.
You went into the jungle.
Yes, I did.
Is it as bad?
Worse.
Really?
Worse. On TV, it looks good fun because they've got 24 hours footage. They show 40 minutes. Wow, it's boring. It's scary. At nights, I don't know if you've been in the middle of the jungle at nights with no lights on.
No, I haven't now.
The noises
Mainly
you
because
hear.
nobody's paid me to do it.
Enough yet, but you might do. There we go. And the noises you hear in the jungle at night are scary. I mean, there's things.
You're Razor Ruddock. Surely you're not
I've
scared
just
of a
talked about
spider.
I am scared of spiders. My mum, Joyce, Mum's your fault. I've always been scared of spiders and heights. But I mean, the noises. But you get jungle rats are like cats. You see them running around at night and they jump on your bunk bed and after 3 days, kick them off. Just leave me. If you're going to bite me, bite me and let me sleep. Because you're drinking warm water and a bit of rice and you can't sleep and they get you up about 4 a.m. to go lie over here to the... See, you know, and when you're hungry and tired, that's when you're most volatile and argumentative. So they get you to that stage.
And do you start to really resent
Hate people.
Deck?
I hate everyone.
Every time those smiling
All the
northeastern
smell. You
gentlemen.
can smell food on them. You can smell them. You know,
And they smell clean.
They smell clean and that. But the way you're sitting now, after 3 days, why is you sitting on? Why have you gone like that? Honestly, you go in there with a plan. You've got no chance. It is horrible in there.
So you wouldn't be doing it, yeah.
Well, but they said that as you walked in, they said if you walk out, you don't get paid. You
What?
didn't realise that.
No, where was
Whoa,
that?
whoa, I didn't see that. Oh, I mean, hold your horses. No,
And the food was horrible.
disgusting.
And you got, I mean...
I lost £18 in 11 days. I lost just sat on my backside.
But do you think that's because you didn't have a drink for 18 days or because of the amount of food?
Both.
Because I know when I stopped drinking,
Oh, yeah.
I lost 1.5 stone and was eating more.
Yeah, so put it on.
You know.
Well, I come out, I was that hungry, I'd come out and let's walk across the bridge and do your interview. You walk into this big like market, it's food, this big, you know, the prawns and the things in Australia, they're all, there was I see some beer over there when I had a beer. And I was hungry, but I thought, oh, beer.
Oh, nice.
Beer, so I had a nice cold lager.
Now, you then sort of became a stalwart of celebrity reality TVs. Because, I mean, in terms of what you brought to it, you were a great booking.
Yeah.
But was it still, like you said there when we were talking about uncelebrities, like you go in with a plan
Yeah.
and it blows out of the water.
Yeah.
But do you think, because even in that environment, did you have to keep up
Yeah,
that
I couldn't.
persona?
I tried to. People say, "Well, I was so quiet. I just couldn't keep up the Razor.
Yeah.
I was so tired and hungry, and down, and I just couldn't keep up. People expected me all fireworks, and But once I went in there, I think I showed me true self.
But one of the ones we did get to see a bit of real Razor was when you did Celebrity Wife Swap. Why you ever agreed? I don't know.
Pete Burns and my wife got his husband. Yeah, that was good money. I'm going to put it down. It was a paycheck. That's all I'm going to put that one down to.
And you displayed your vocal talents as Neil Diamond and the stars in his eyes.
Song blue, everybody.
Although we'll have to pay for this. Shut up now.
But Neil Diamond.
It's lovely to hear you sing, but it's a podcast. We'll have to pay for it if you carry on.
You have to pay to. You have to pay on the
Well, I mean,
podcast. Neil Diamond won't mind.
No, exactly. He's wealthy enough.
Well,
But so you Celebrity Wife Swap.
Yeah.
You've done all these different celebrity kind of things, and then come 2011, you're bankrupt.
yeah.
Was that because you hadn't changed from the football lifestyle, or just the income just wasn't coming?
Well, the income was coming, but I had a massive tax bill. I just, as I say, I didn't know what I was doing. When you're playing for all your taxes paid, and all of a sudden I had a knock on the door, tax man, £330,000 tax bill. So I'll just go and get it.
Yeah.
And I split up from the wife. That's all the money I was earning was going to the ex-wife. So I was, I'm the manager man, wouldn't show face, I wouldn't let the ex-wife and kids go without. So everything I was earning was going to them, and then the tax bill come and give me a kick up the backside. But at the end of the day, it gave me a big help because it showed me I got time to grow up. starting to take responsibility.
So that sort of changed your relationship with money.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
That kind of like easy come, easy go thing, which I
That
think...
was- I was easy go. I'd always get a pound note somewhere. All suddenly, when reality hits you, strikes you in the face.
And I think we're in a period now where that's happened to a lot of
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I mean, most people you speak to...
But I was saying, I think at the time, it come at the right time for me. If it happens in sort of later years, then I think it'd be in a big trouble. But I'm still young enough to get myself out of it.
And then after that, you then went into the Celebrity Big Brother house.
Yep.
And were busy calling out prats.
Yes.
That's parallels. Yeah, I mean, they were extraordinary.
Oh, they were.
I mean, you want to talk
Spidey.
toxic?
Spidey. Yeah, I mean,
Spidey. We're talking about, for those who don't know, we're talking about a person, I wouldn't say gentleman, a person called Spencer Pratt,
Spencer and Heidi.
who took toxic, the two of them took toxic to a new level.
Strange couple, but you know.
So you haven't stayed in touch?
No, Frank Tory told them they shouldn't be rude to Razor because Razor's family run London. Should be done. Nah. So when we come out with, I'm sorry to upset you and your family, I went, no, you be careful. Yeah. So you still, I think they think we're sort of mafioso of London, which we're not.
But you see, the interesting thing is that kind of stuff. When you've got someone with that kind of celebrity, where there's nothing behind it.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Exactly. I think they've been divorced about 3 times just on TV to get remarried again. I
mean, I'm not. I don't lament.
They're not here.
I don't lament them.
Where are they?
Where are they now?
They're not here.
Yeah. Well, Johnny, should we try and...
John, can we book them?
Do we book them for the...
That's too much money.
They'll want too much. But, you know, the image of Razor is of this avuncular, happy-go-lucky, good time kind of guy. But you've, like anybody, you've had plenty of kicks in the teeth over the years, you know, whether it's divorce or losing a parent or any of those kind of things. But whilst you're still in the kind of, what I know about myself was, whilst you're still in the cycle of how you manage all those feelings, which is either by food or drink or all those kind of things, you never kind of address them. So in the last 2 years and in this book, have you sort of been hit by lots of different, like, oh God, really? Oh God.
Well,
really?
like sort of as in like any regrets and things like that. I'm speaking to this, I can't remember who it was, an old fellow I was talking to, and he said, regrets. He said, the only thing you should regret is all the good things you've done in your life, you should have done more. Yeah. So that's my mindset in place. All I've done now to change my life, I always put my friends first. Always put my friends first. My family always used to miss out, used to upset. All I do now is put my family first. Friends come second.
Well, the other argument...
Still go out. If the wife, I'm okay to go out, my wife said, I'll go out.
But in terms of taking more care of yourself, it's that thing of like, well, you kind of got to put your own self-care first so that you can care for others properly and be there for other people. Because I think when you're caught in that toxic cycle that you sort of refer to a lot in the book, it's like you don't see the effect you're having.
I know.
Right?
I don't know it is. I've done it purposely, or it's like I don't know, but I just don't really fancy going out anymore. I don't know if it's because I'm older or it's because the trouble I've got myself in, but now I don't fancy going out. I'd rather stay at home, and it's crazy.
But I mean, you've had a gastric sleeve fitted, which has taken away 70% of your
70% of the stomach away. So I've got other roast dinner like that, a 2 potatoes bit of thing.
But I mean, one of the things you allow yourself, I believe, twice a day, is a nice cup of tea.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you'll enjoy the mug I got you there that says...
Oh, you got me glasses on, what's it say?
It says RIP 0 given.
Yes, very good.
And 4 chocky bickies. Now, I don't know about you, but I am a chocolate hobnob man.
No, these, you go, what you do, you go in half.
You go in half in your tea.
And when it's really like your 2 tips, that is heaven.
Now, are you a hobnob man? Or are you a chocolate digestive?
Digestive.
You see, I favour the hobnob myself.
You let yourself down there.
What are you talking about? That is the king of biscuits. I don't want to fall out, but that is the king of biscuits.
No, trim the oats. See, your digestive got the sort of salty taste after, around salt and tea goes.
Couldn't you? I mean, you've got the oats, you're getting your fibre content.
No, I'm not interested in that. The Tuckney tea. New teeth, by the way.
Right.
The constant bonding teeth.
Where did you go to Turkey for those?
No, Ashford in Kent.
Didn't
Go
go
on,
as far as
it's
Doug.
nice.
Yeah, go. Well, hold on, because you're allowed. What is it? You allow yourself 1 cup of tea and 4 biscuits twice a day.
Yeah. Morning and night.
Look at that pro dunking that's going on there. There's no messing
Well,
about.
glad we felt that. Well, thank you very much. Very kind of you.
Well, you know, we aim to
I
play.
like them plates as well.
Well, Cornish ware. You played for England once.
Yes.
Was that a regret not playing more?
Well,
And do you think
well,
the
I played-
Razor image
Yeah,
stopped
I mean, I've been
because it
a bit
was in the
lifestyle.
time of Terry Venables?
Yeah,
so
as we lifestyle. Well, I played for England sort of 16s, played every level, 16s, 17s, 18s. I was, under 21 captain. I was England B captain. But played for England. I was in a lot of squads, but there were better players in front of me. Tony Adams, Pallister, Desi Walker. So those, there's better players than me. So maybe if I lived a better life, I might have got, 1 or 2 more, but at the time, better players.
And you have claimed, and I'm not disagreeing with you, let's be clear, that you couldn't
I was
play.
going to shave today, and I'm glad I didn't.
Well, no,
Yes,
men
I
of a
think
certain
it's
age.
Christmas.
Men of a certain age.
I think so. Anyway, sorry, what were you talking about?
No, now, you have claimed, and I'm not going to disagree
Yeah.
with you, that you could have played for any top club in Europe.
Yes.
Which ones would it have been?
Or would Liverpool was the one? I think Barca. I think a little bit in Spain. I would have loved a little bit in Spain. When I was at my height.
For the weather.
For the weather, and the food, obviously tapas and things like that. Very nice. Spanish food, Spanish wine, Spanish ladies. Barcelona for me has got the whole package. So I think.
I love it. I love it as a city.
Yeah.
Because you've got a fantastic
Also
city.
the Ramblers.
Ramblers. You've got a
Yeah.
fantastic city. And it's right by the sea.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You'd have a lump.
And it's an incredible stadium.
Right,
going there.
Is it New Camp or no, New Camp?
Yeah.
The other one's, what's the other one's called? The Burnabout. Oh, look at me doing my knowledge of football.
Exactly. Well, hopefully you'd have a bit of knowledge of football. Because
I don't know about your dad, didn't.
But do you think, punditry, would you wish you could do more punditry?
Well, not my knowledge of football. I've lost my knowledge of the names. I understand the game tactics, but the knowledge of footballers now, their names, they're coming from, Cubans and, all this Scandinavian stuff. My knowledge of actual footballers now I've lost it.
And is there any historical, who did you like playing with the most? Team member-wise?
Oh, there's lots. Johnny Barnes. The Jamie Bednar, we've got the Shearers, the Tizzo, Glenn Odors, Valdar Dealers, Robbie Fowlers, Mulbys, DeCanny. Oh, there's too many. Rio Ferdinand. There's too many too.
Because you were always in those.
Frank Lampard. Sorry if I've forgotten you.
But what struck me about your career is you were always in those teams when they had those players.
Yeah.
So you're at West Ham during the Di Canio years.
Yeah.
You're at Liverpool with John Barnes and Jamie Redknapp.
Spice Boy era. It was, I'm a kid at Tottenham was Hoddle, Waddle, Idealist, so
Exactly.
always surrounded by great players, lucky enough.
But do you think that hindered how much you got paid?
Yeah, probably.
Because, like you say, when you went to Liverpool, you were the most in-demand defender.
Yeah, well,
in
I
the game.
seven, 8 teams wanted me at the time, and when Liverpool come knocking you, for me growing up, Liverpool were the greatest. So, I was in demand, but people, I could play football. This Razor tag. People just think you was just chuff. Defender, one kick everyone, but you don't play for them teams with them players if you can't play football.
No,
so
exactly. You were very skilled, and I think there's that thing. A good friend of mine has been a Premiership manager and that kind of thing, and he talks about how he regularly has to disappoint parents.
Well,
they
I think that's
think their child is gifted, and they're not.
Yeah.
And how gifted and how a good a player you have to be to make it into the Premiership.
I think is that people say there's luck. There is luck, but when you get that luck, you've got to take that luck, and you've got to work hard and get your head down and know how to do it.
But also, I think maybe when you came up through the game, it was luck to be spotted.
Well, on that day, I had a great game, But then if you don't get, if you're unlucky, go again. I think the thing about it is that if you're the best kid at 14, you ain't going to be the best kid at 16. Lads grow, girls grow. Girls and boys.
I always like the story about Ronaldo when the Scouts were coming to watch him play, and there was another really great kid in the team, and it came to take a penalty, and the guy gave the ball to Ronaldo to take the penalty, took the penalty, and Ronaldo got chosen.
Did the lad give it him just in case he missed?
Well, no. But what's interesting is that guy now, I think, runs a news agent.
Oh dear. He took that penalty.
Lives in the most extraordinary house, but Ronaldo bought him.
Oh, seriously?
Because he always remembered that when there was that key moment.
Oh, beautiful.
He was there for him and went, no, you take it. And he's always remembered that, and he's always looked after him financially.
Oh.
Bought him a beautiful house for his family.
He's my favourite, man. I like him now.
Yeah?
Yeah, because he played for Man United, didn't you?
Yeah.
But I quite like. Who's your team, by the way?
I would go with Chelsea.
That's all right. I know that. I'm saying Arsenal.
So this book, I mean, what brought you to write it? Was it because you realised? Was it part of the catharsis of changing? Because there's a lot of movement as a human in this.
I just got fed up with being Razor. I just wanted to tell everyone, I've changed, and it was just one of them. I was just fed up of being that, and and I wanted to get it out there, and I hopefully will help it. If I can change, I was near death. I was a couple of months. Doctor gave me 2 months to live. So if I was near death, and I can change their life, everyone can change their life.
Exactly. But I mean, obviously, we all like a good picture.
Yes.
But lovely picture of you and Leah, Mrs. Ruddock, wife now,
yes.
the president, Mrs. Ruddock.
President, Mrs. Ruddock.
And is it nice to kind of have that relationship now that you're able to have?
Oh, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than the kind of,
Well, sure.
I mean, to be honest, the endless hostages you probably do
Yes.
before.
Yes, it's a bit. So it is. That's true. But I used to kidnap people in pubs, and say, "Come with me. I'll look after you. You won't have to pay for a thing." But I mean, Leah, she sort of. I wear the trousers. She tells me what colour to put on. That sort of relationship. No, she rules. She rules my life, and I needed it. And she was the one that really, got me into hospital to have all the operations and saved my life. So she's a strong lady behind me.
Well, we've got to that time in proceedings now.
Okay.
Well, I am going to offer you
A pair.
the Spooning with Mark Wogan blindfold, courtesy of our friends at Smug. Pop that on, because it is time for your first spoon. All right, so I'm going to slide this over. I will feed it to you. Yeah, it's a real exercise.
I think we should.
You got 2 spoons to have.
Excellent news.
Hold on, are you moving that up so you can see?
Can't see. No,
Okay, all right, there we go. So this is your first spoon.
Yep.
All right, open wide. It's not a small mouthful. There we go. Tell me about the flavours, textures, what you're getting there.
It's a saucy one. Mm-hmm. Oh,
Is it nice?
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. That's what we like.
I've got potato.
You have got potato.
It's not about. I think it's a meaty fish.
Meaty fish.
Meaty fish, or the very. Oh, it's lamb.
Yes,
I'm
very
getting
good. Very good.
I'm
Very
getting
good.
lamb now, Trace.
So what would it be?
That would be a lamb hot pot for me, or a very
The
mild lamb
the
curry.
dish of your favourite football team, Scouse.
Casserole, no, lamb scouse.
Lamb Scouse. There we go.
It's not blind scouse.
Take it off. Take the blindfold off there. I made you
Scouse.
my version of Scouse. It's good, right?
I knew it's wrong.
Now, does that bring memories of your time in Liverpool flooding back?
Yeah, but the thing that is lovely.
Normally, I have to ask my guests if they would like the second spoon.
Oh,
you
yeah.
just went straight in and had it.
Normally, it's been called blind scouse as well, which is no meat. That's where there's skin.
Yeah.
So that's where I think scouse come from. That's a pan of scouse with just vegetables and.
Yeah, and then
that's lovely.
they'd use all the bones and everything to
Yeah.
give it the meaty flavour because they couldn't afford the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10
Well,
on my Scouse. That's very
It's
beautiful.
not judged that scouse. Well, scouse is a casserole, isn't it? So I was right.
Yeah. I'm now going to ask you to put the blindfold on again.
I'm enjoying this.
For your
See, this could be something I like or not.
for your final spoon. I think personally you're going to love this.
Okay.
All right. I did this specially for you.
Thanks, mate.
All right. So
I'll
here it
take
is.
it.
Open wide. There's your spoon. Tell me about flavours, textures. What are you getting? Is it lovely?
I want to spice right. That no, it's a bit thick there. Mm-hmm. But at the end, don't know what meat is it?
I mean, these are a family favourite in my house.
It's the. I'm trying to get them. It's a
You see, he's got
it's
a
a
good
flavour.
He knows it. He knows it. I know what you're trying to say.
It's that flavour.
I'm going to let you get there.
I can't think of the herb and the spice. It's a spice. It's not an herb. It's a spice. What's we begin with?
Begins with an S.
S.
Yeah. It's 2 words. First word S, second word A.
Whoa! What, the spice?
Yeah. Oh, and there's another word. There's another spice in it that begins with a C.
I like it. Coriander?
No.
Cumin.
No. It's 2 things. Take it off. Take the blindfold off. It's 2 things that you said you hated. So there is star anise
Oh, is that?
and
That's
cinnamon.
Oh, I hate cinnamon.
No, you don't.
Oh, I love cinnamon. First like the Moroccan-y.
Yeah, so what I do is, so these are my version of ribs. So what I do is I get the ribs. If you don't have a smoker or anything like that, what you do is you get the ribs, you put them in a tray, whole bottle of Coca-Cola, couple of star anise,
Whoa.
sticks of cinnamon.
You rib. Yeah. Do you cut that skinny bit off there?
Yeah, you cut the membrane, whip the membrane off, put them in a large deep baking tray, fill it up to just halfway up the ribs with Coca-Cola, and then you throw in star anise and cinnamon.
How many star anise?
Just a couple, or depending on how many you've got. So for 1 rack, you put a couple in, and you get 1 big stick of cinnamon, break that in half, that goes in, and you cook it for about an hour and a half at sort of 140. Then it goes off, then you take it out, then you put your barbecue sauce on, which in this case is one that I made with chili jam as well, chili habanero jam to give it the sweetness, but also
What then spice I've got in the end? What a little bit of spiciness.
well, that's the habanero chili. That's what's giving it the heat. But also, what's really nice is that essentially the liquor that is left over after you've cooked.
Did it go sugary though? Would that go like thick?
Yeah, you reduce it down, and you add that to the barbecue sauce as well.
I didn't like cinnamon and star anise.
You see, there's no such thing as a bad ingredient, Neil.
No.
And there's no such thing as Razor Ruddock anymore. It's just Neil, and it's
You
all
can
in this.
Razor. You can call me Razor. No, you can.
I
I
prefer
Razor. I know. I'm not. You know. I know.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day.
That was magnificent.
But it is all in this book, and I would like to say thank you to Neil or Razor, depending on the day, for taking part today. Go and get this. It is a fascinating read. I love it. I love a good autobiography, but this has got a bit more depth to it,
Thank you very much.
which I really loved. And I wish you every success with it, and every success with discovering the new you.
Discovering the new me and my new taste bud with the star anise and cinnamon.
I'll send you.
See,
I'll send you the recipe.
Cinnamon was like donuts. You put it on donuts. And
Well, it depends. There's lots of uses for it. There's a lot of it in Indian cookery as well. You're probably eating it in your
with
local
cinnamon,
Indian without.
right?
No.
You have to. You know, like when you're cooking an Indian, you dry sort of keep the herbs.
Dry fry the spices.
Do you have to do cinnamon, or you can just put it in the sauce?
I think depending on the sauce, like I would be careful about dry frying cinnamon because it can really burn very quickly.
And you don't need a lot if you put it in the sauce.
No. But that's just 1 cinnamon stick.
Oh, a stick.
Yeah, well, a cinnamon stick. You know.
Oh, see, I put it in it.
No, I'll give you the recipe. I've got to say goodbye to people now.
Bye-bye, that was magnificent.
Yeah. Well, that is all for this week. Neil's book, Toxic, Neil Ruddock Tackling Razor and Finding the Real Me, is out now. Do get it. It is a great book and a great read. But thank you to Neil for taking part. That is all. Next week, of course, I will be joined by another very, very special guest. And this podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts from and on YouTube, should you wish to see Mr. Ruddock in his fine technicolor glory, the new him. But until next week, stay beautiful.